You've been thinking about buying a smoker that you can take camping with you? Well, we did, and I'm going to tell you all about the one we purchased and how to use it in this week's episode of Travels with Delaney. Welcome back, everyone. So in this week's episode, I wanted to share with you the smoker that we purchased that we're going to use when we go on weekend camping trips. And it's the Green Mountain Grill Smoker, the Davy Crockett version, which is a true tailgater. I can actually fit this in the back of my 4Runner, and so that we can take it with us on those weekend camping excursions. Now, throughout this video, not only am I going to show you the pork butt that we're going to be smoking today, but I'm also going to tell you all about the grill and how it works. Now, I'm not a professional smoker by any means. It's really more of a hobby that I've had for years. Prior to purchasing this pellet smoker that's going currently in the background, I'd always used a wood smoker, where one of the real challenges was controlling the temperature, where you really had to keep an eye on it because it would get too hot or get too cold, and it was basically stay right by your grill at all times. The thing I love about this pellet smoker is it's pretty much one of those set it and forget it type smokers, to where you can literally start it up at a certain temperature and know that it's going to stay fairly close to that temperature throughout the day. The only thing that I actually will be doing is halfway through my pork butt, I'm going to wrap it in foil, which is a technique that I like to use to finish off the cooking process, which really helps make the meat tender. So, all right, let's go ahead and begin this week's video on the Green Mountain Grill's Davy Crockett Smoker. All right, so today we're going to be smoking a pork butt shoulder, and we've got about 9 pounds of meat here. If you watch, you can actually get these really cheap. There's been times I've gotten them for as low as 99 cents a pound. Now this one was a little more expensive. I think probably time of year has to deal with it. And we're going to use this McCormick's Grill Mates Applewood flavored rub. You can use whatever rub you want. Now some people will actually inject these pork butts with liquids and garlic and all kinds of things. I tell you, I'm just going to take it. And in fact, let's do this the easy way. I'm just going to go real simple. I'm going to put a nice heavy rub on it. Now, I put a real heavy rub when I'm doing pork butts because the meat is so thick that I want that flavor to really get in. And I really press down on it to get it to stick. And then we're just going to go ahead and flip this guy over. And so be real generous with your rub. And like I said, some people make their own rubs. I usually just find these different flavored ones and I buy. And I have some favorites when I get back to Florida, Central Florida. For instance, I love Four Rivers brisket rub. And when we get back to Texas, Bucky's rib rub was real good. So I'll pick up some of those that I really like. But when I run out of those, I just go to the store, see what they have. And usually they have some unique ones. So again, this is an Applewood by McCormick's, and hey, if it's got the name McCormick in it, it's got to be good, right? So, okay, now once I get it all nice and happy like that, I'm just going to let it sit. Now you could literally let this sit overnight, wrap it up in saran wrap, and let it sit all night. I usually just do it a little bit before, maybe an hour or two, and then we'll be ready to go onto the smoker. So let's go ahead and work on getting our smoker ready. All right, so here is the smoker with the cover on, and I was able to purchase the smoker on Amazon for $344, and they threw in this really nice heavy cover for it, which you definitely would want to keep it covered if it's going to be anywhere outside or near the outside because of the electronics on it. So let's go ahead and get the cover off and reveal the smoker. So here you can actually see the smoker. Now, Green Mountain Grills actually sells various sizes. This is their tailgater unit known as the Davy Crockett. But you can get bigger ones in the Daniel Boone or the Sam Bowie. So it kind of depends on what your uses are. I wanted one that would actually fold up and that I could take with us on camping trips. So these legs will actually just fold up and over, and they work as a carrying handle. It does have little feet on here that if you want, you can actually set it on a picnic table or even the tailgate of your truck. So it is a true tailgater. It doesn't necessarily have a huge cooking surface, but you could definitely get a couple slabs of baby back ribs on here, or if you go to a rib rack, you might actually be able to get 3 or 4 slabs on. We definitely will be able to get our big pork butt on here today, and again, that's a 9-pounder. So let's go ahead and we're going to fill up the hopper and we're going to get this thing heating up. All right, so I'm actually using these pellets from Green Mountain Grills. This is a fruitwood blend. It actually includes cherry, American beech, and sweet pecan. So we have our hopper right here. And all you do is go ahead and fill your hopper up with your pellets. Now my understanding is the pellets are actually made from actual sawdust from the wood, and they compress it through a process into these little tiny pellets. They smell good and they give real good flavor. Then you just close it. I'll point out a couple things here. Number one, right here you're going to see, this is your Wi-Fi antenna. This grill is Wi-Fi enabled, so you can actually control it and watch it right from your cell phone, which is really nice. You can do things like set the temperatures, you can actually shut the grill off, and just do a whole monitoring process. This wire coming out and going into the grill, that's going to be for your meat probe. So you actually have a meat probe that we're going to stick into our pork butt, and then that's going to keep a temperature monitor for us so we know exactly what that is running at. Let's go ahead and just talk about the inside of the grill. So it comes with just 2 little racks that sit in here that you're going to set your meat on. Now I've seen people on YouTube videos do it different ways. Some people put their meat on a tray. They want to keep their racks nice and clean. I like to have my meat sitting right on the rack because I want it to go down and drip on the actual drip tray. What I'm really impressed with is everything is made out of heavy metal. Okay, this isn't flimsy or anything like that, but I want that fat dripping down so we get that searing, sizzling. Now don't worry, it's going to run off into this little drain, and they give you a nice bucket to catch all of your grease drippings. And then the heat shield is right here, and again, also you can see how heavy it is. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and give you a look inside. So here is the inside of the Green Mountain. So right here is the little firebox where the pellets are going to come down the auger. That's where your flame's going to be, and then the fan is going to be running to keep the fire going. And then you'll notice we've got some ashes. I have used this a couple times, so I'm going to go ahead and sweep these ashes out. And that's really about all you have to do with this grill. Right over here, we're going to have our smokestack, and you can see we can control that. And my understanding from what I've read online is when we're smoking, we're just going to leave that open. So they also include this nice little detachable shelf. And I like that because I can set any kind of utensils over here. It's even got places to hang things. And then right down here is that drip bucket I was telling you about. A real nice little steel drip bucket. Your grease is going to come out right here, drip down in, easy cleanup. And then finally, see the little feet I was telling you about? That's what you can set it on if you want to use it on a picnic table, or like I said, the bed of a truck or something like that. So I'll give you a quick view of the control panel. It is digital, and we'll get this thing fired up in just a moment and you'll see it. All right, I just pushed the power button. It went from the off state to 0. It's going to count up from 0. Don't do anything according to the manual while it's going through this startup process. The grill is actually putting pellets into the firebox, and it's going to light itself. Once we see an actual temperature reading that the grill is lit, then we can begin adjusting the temperature for how warm we want to run. Now you notice it just now flipped to 1, so we're going through that startup process. So we're going to wait till we actually get a temperature reading before we do anything. All right, we finally have a temperature reading. Now we can adjust our temperature to where we want to actually set the grill. We can do this one of 2 ways. We can either use the up-down arrows right here. It automatically starts off at 150. Or I'm going to take it up because I want to start this at 250. Actually, let's go 240. I could also set it using the Green Mountain Grill app. All right, our grill is up to temperature, so now it's time to add our meat. Now, again, I'm not a professional smoker. I do this for fun, and I believe there's lots of ways to do this. So, and we're not a grilling channel, so this is more showing you the grill and not so much my technique. But the way I'm going to do this pork butt, normally I'm a fat guy up, but I've decided based upon some YouTube channels I've watched, I'm going to do fat side down, because what I saw was that will actually help protect the meat. And I've noticed sometimes on my pork butts, the bottom, the meat gets a little dried out. So we're going to go fat side down, and we're going to go ahead and put our meat probe down into the deepest part, and I'm going to put it down near the bone. Just lay that in there. We're going to close it, and we're going to forget it. Now I'm going to let this go for about 4 hours, and then when we get to the 4-hour mark, or near the 4-hour mark, I'm going to pull it, I'm going to wrap the meat in foil, and then we're going to continue to cook it. I'm looking to get this up over 200 degrees, and hopefully when we're done, we're going to be able to make pulled pork, and it should just shred apart. So literally, we just have to wait now. While our smoker's working, let's talk a little bit about how the smoker came. So Green Mountain, according to what I've read, only sells through authorized dealers. You're not going to find them in the big box stores. But there is an authorized dealer that does sell on Amazon. Earthsense out of Wisconsin is where this one came from. I purchased it on Amazon for $344, and that included the entire grill and that really nice cover. They also have some other packages on Amazon that you can choose from, everything from a bag of pellets that comes with it to a carrying case for this particular model. Now, when your grill comes, it's going to come in a cardboard box, and you basically take it out, and there's very little that you have to do in terms of assembly. What you have to do is, number one, you do install the chimney, and that's literally removing the 3 screws that come with it, and it comes with the tool to remove those screws and then screwing the chimney on. The only other thing you have to do is the handle comes installed on the inside so that they can get it into the box. Unscrew the 2 bolts, flip the handle around to the outside, reattach it. That's pretty much it, and then just putting the component pieces into place. Like I said, with this particular grill, it comes with the heat shield and then the drip pan for the grease to drip on. You get the nice bucket, you get the side rack, you're going to get the Wi-Fi antenna, the probe for your meat, and it also comes with the 110, the 12 volt, and the battery clips. All of that's included just with the grill, and then like I said, the package I had came with the cover. So I'll go ahead and put a link in our Amazon store for you, because I am so impressed with this already that it's something that we definitely would recommend for anybody looking for a tailgate size smoker grill. Now, this grill can actually go up to 500 degrees, which means if you want to, you can crank this thing up and grill on it. You can get those nice sear marks on steaks. We're going to primarily use it just as a smoker at the lower temperatures, but isn't it nice to know if you're toting this thing around with you to different campgrounds that this could also be your grill if you wanted to be. As far as the pellets go, we started with the Green Mountain pellets, although I did go out and buy some off-brands, or other brands, I shouldn't say off-brands, but other brands that I'm going to be experimenting with, and that'll probably be a whole separate video on how those work. So, okay, we just got to keep letting it cook. Alright, it's been 4 hours. About halfway through this process, I did turn the temperature down to 225 after I got a nice char of meat. We're going to go ahead and pull out our thermometer, and I'm going to wrap the meat in foil for the last bit of cooking time. You can see how nice this is looking already. You want to wrap it nice and tight, as airtight as you can possibly get it. I'm actually going to always double wrap for me. Okay, now that I've got it wrapped, let's go ahead and insert our meat probe back down into our meat. Close it. And now we're going to let this go for, I'd say another 2 to maybe 4 hours. Again, I want to get the temperature internally on the meat around 210. So that's how easy it is. Now we just wait again. All right, we've been smoking now for 6.5 hours, and our meat's reading 208 degrees, which that's pretty good for what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull the thermometer out of our meat. We're going to go ahead and take this off, and I've just got a cookie sheet that I'm going to put it on. Now, the meat will continue to cook, and one of the great things about smoked meat is that you can put it in a cooler and just let the meat rest for quite a while. It'll stay warm and it'll continue to cook. Now, as far as our Green Mountain smoker, we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to hit the power button. Now, you'll notice when you hit the power button, it'll light up that the fan is coming on, and it's going to go into a shutdown process. So when it gets to completely off, then it will start to cool, and then eventually we can put it away. So let's go ahead and take this meat inside and check it out. All right, let's go ahead and open it up and just pull the foil back. Now, to me, the real test on a pork butt is if the bone comes out easily, then it tells me that we've done a pretty good job of cooking it. And so you can see that bone just slipped right out, and it's basically clean. So that means this pork is ready. And let's just take a look here. Hopefully you can see that we've got a definite smoke ring. And look how this pork is literally just pulling apart. Nice pulled pork. And we've got a nice smoke ring, which is what we want. And then the real test, I guess, is just going to be the flavor. Very good. So, if you watch other professionals, which I would call professionals, they'll do a lot of things. They'll spray their pork butt every 45 minutes with beef broth, or they'll repack it with seasonings. I don't usually go to all that trouble, and most people are very happy with our pork. I've been smoking these pork butts for quite a few years now. In fact, 2 years ago, this is what we did for my nephew's graduation party. So we just had pulled pork sandwiches. I smoked it ahead of time. And there's very little waste on this 9 pound, just the bone. So there it is. We'll go ahead, we'll shred it all up, and then we'll have dinner. The other nice thing about pork butts is we like to freeze the leftovers, so later this winter we can just pull it out and it's a quick meal. There you have it, the Green Mountain Grill Davy Crockett Smoker. It's small enough that you can load it up and take it with you camping, yet it's got a big enough surface that you can use it at your home to make all of your favorite smoked meats, whether you want to do chicken, ribs, brisket, pulled pork, or even maybe something like a bacon wrapped pineapple. This grill can do it. It uses the pellets, and it keeps a fairly consistent temperature, making your life a lot easier when you're trying to smoke your meats. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you leave them down below. And if you're interested in this grill, I'll leave the link in our Amazon shop at amazon.com/shop/travelswithdelaney. And until next time, everybody, happy smoking, and we'll see you on down the road. Good night, everybody.